Hi, I'm Todd Nash, President of the Oregon Cattlemen's Association. I'm here today with our Executive Director, Tammy Dennee. And Tammy, do you want to further introduce yourself, where you're at, where you're from, and kind of what you do for Cattlemen's Association?
Well, good morning. My name is Tammy Dennee, and I currently reside in Polk County, just outside of Salem, and have been in the Valley now for 9 years. My husband and I, Michael, we moved from the Pendleton area where we resided for 20 years. So we consider Pendleton and Eastern Oregon to be home, but we're making great friends here in the Marion County and Polk County areas and really diving into these communities as well.
Yeah, well, thanks for that, Tammy. We really appreciate you being down there so you can be an effective advocate for us in Salem, and there's a lot of work to be done there.
Yes.
Tammy, for the purposes of today, I want to talk about the convention that's coming up in January. And you have a reputation of putting on some of the very best conventions there are. And anyway, do you want to kind of tell some of our listening audience out there what they can expect when they come to convention?
Yes, absolutely. We're very excited about this year's convention. And if you haven't heard, the dates are that you want to mark on your calendar for our listeners, January 4th through the 7th. And the 4th will be a kickoff event with a meat grading school that will happen at Blue Mountain Community College. Led by Dr. Carol Lorenzen from Oregon State University and Matt Liscombe from Blue Mountain Community College, and then followed by the Beef Quality Assurance Certification Program. And so we have some wonderful partners, Zoetis, Oregon State University, and Blue Mountain Community College that are making that entire day possible on January the 4th. This year's convention is slightly out of our normal routine, which generally falls about this time during the year, but we had some scheduling conflicts, so we moved it into the first week in January, right after the New Year's. So you'll see two conventions for Oregon Cattlemen's Association in the year 2023, but we are marketing this January event as our 2022 annual meeting and convention. You don't want to miss it. We will be, the Pendleton Convention Center will be our home for those 3 days, and we will have a number of workshops. We've really attempted to focus on workshop experiences that will attract a diverse audience, including our younger ranchers.
Yeah, well, thanks for that. There's some benefits in having that in Pendleton. It isn't necessarily centrally located for everybody, although it is in the central north part of the state. But what are some of the things that they can experience while they're in town there?
Well, it will be right after the holiday season, but there is a vibrant downtown community. Of course, there's the Pendleton Woolen Mills, the Pendleton Hat Company, all of the activities that are happening, Pendleton Underground. So there's lots to do and see, and we will gather some information from the Pendleton Chamber of Commerce, put that in all of the bags, the welcome kits for our attendees, so that everyone can participate actively and leave a little bit of green in the restaurants and in those downtown businesses. We do have 4 tours that we have scheduled that will happen on the 4th of January as well. So if there's interest more on the tour side than there is in the meat grading or the BQA program, there will be touring opportunities, and Pendleton Hat Company is one of those destinations. Okay.
And can you touch on a little bit about the drone facility there? It's really state of the art and one of the best drone facilities in the entire nation, maybe even the world.
Absolutely. They are rocking it when it comes to putting together all of the players in the drone industry and sector, and the interest is thriving at the Pendleton Airport. You just really wouldn't think of that little community being the hub for drone development, including passenger drones. So someday, perhaps in our lifetime, we'll be able to summon a personal passenger drone to take us from a community like Enterprise and bring you to Salem when you need to make a quick trip in, rather than that 7.5, 8-hour drive that you currently enjoy, sir. I know it's beautiful country, but sometimes you need to get here and back in a more expeditious manner, and there's no air service for our more rural ranchers. So there's lots happening in that space, and it's really exciting. The drone facility is one of our tour destinations as well. And so our attendees can let us know that that is their tour of choice. And we can then let our host know how many people they can expect the day of.
Yeah, I had a chance to visit that a few years ago, and I've heard that they've had a substantial footprint increase up there in their facility. And the products they're putting out are the ones that I saw a few years ago are miscellaneous. Are not worthy of competing with their current products. And anyway, I'm excited to revisit that again. What are some of the things that members can expect to be participating in as far as membership activities? Maybe some of the committees and things like that we might participate in there.
Every one of our committees will be convening, and we have now joined some of our committees together with one another. So rather than a 1-hour block, we'll have 2-hour blocks for committee activity. Our committees will be really focusing this year on whether or not new policies or new resolutions need to be considered and proposed for the general membership meeting that will happen on Saturday afternoon. So rather than historically committees being charged with bringing in a number of speakers to focus on topics, we've kind of asked them to sort that out, and we've built workshops on issues or industry topics. There are 18 different workshops, so lots of opportunity for engagement on high-level topics that are of interest to our rancher community, rather than that work being done or those topics being embedded at that committee level, so that our attendees can choose from the workshops and give the committees the time that they need to really spend on the association work. We are proud of the fact that Oregon Cattlemen's Association is grassroots based, and that committee work is what leads and helps to guide the association as we adopt the outcomes from those discussions, and then we are guided into the next year from that annual meeting that will happen on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tammy. And we have a few elections to make. It isn't a substantial election year, but we do have some elections to make with some district VPs and a treasurer's position, and those are important to get those people placed there and encourage them and in their leadership roles and stepping up. So, Tammy, are there other things that we haven't touched on yet that you think are of value to somebody that's never been to an OCA convention, or maybe somebody that has before and is kind of kicking the tires about coming this year?
Well, we hope that our ranching community, which we know is 13,000 ranching families strong across the state, distributed across every one of Oregon's counties, we hope that they will dive in and come and give the Oregon Cattlemen's Association annual meeting a try. If they haven't ever been, this is the place they want to connect. This is where they want to participate, because this industry will be advocating, this association will be advocating on their behalf as we start the legislative session late in January. So we want an active and vibrant and diverse audience in January, and we want to prepare for those conversations and those priorities that we will put on our industry talking point sheet as we go into legislative session, and then as we prepare for legislative days in February. Everything this association does is for the membership and is guided by the membership. So we need them to participate, and they won't be sorry. There are going to be some really great general sessions, and then we have a really important speaker who's going to join us for dinner and be our presenter and our speaker on Friday night. And Mr. President, he came at your invitation, so you might want to share that with our listeners.
Yeah, and I've said, admittedly, I'm probably more excited about this person than anybody, but we have the ability to have the 34th Commandant of the U.S. Marine Corps. He was appointed by George W. Bush sometime after 2001, 9/11. And, you know, the what has traditionally been one of the roughest, toughest branches of the military, and the appointment there, that person to take that charge at that time in our history, he was worthy of that command. And I've got to know him a little bit, and I really look forward to hearing him speak. And when all of us are a little bit divided and we need to feel better about our country, that time post 9/11 did draw us together. And partisanship aside, I think that he'll bring a message that will probably be really inspiring to all of us. So, Tammy, I really appreciate you coming on here today. We're going to wrap this up, but do you have any closing thoughts on convention and anything else that's going on with OCA?
You bet. I always have just a little bit more to share because there is so much happening within this association day to day. For all of our listeners who are curious now about the convention upcoming, please go to the OCA website, orcattle.com. Right there on the homepage, there's one button, find the schedule, find the registration form. You can register online. For ranchers who maybe aren't currently connected to the Oregon Cattlemen's Association, we are launching our membership season, member renewal, member recruitment. We'd love to have you as a new member. So you can also find those links on our website, and we would welcome you to membership. So please participate. The registration links are all available online. We make it very easy for you. And for our current members, you should have received a postcard in the mail. And we're using that new QR code technology for OCA. It's new. For many other organizations, maybe not so much, but we're trying to come into this 21st century technology. All you have to do is scan that code, that little box with your smartphone, and it opens up a form. You can complete the form online right there on your phone, right there in your pickup, and you'll be a registered attendee. You can do the same thing with your membership form. Just fill it out right there on your phone, send it in, and it'll all be taken care of. And if you have any challenges, don't hesitate to give us a call.
Okay. Thank you very much for getting on, Tammy. We really appreciate all you do down there for us. We wouldn't be the organization we are without the organization that you bring to this Cattlemen's Association. You do a really incredible job for us and make us all look good. And well, I don't know if you make us all look good, but you make us look better than we actually are. And we really appreciate that. So with that, we'll call her a day, and you have a good day.
Thank you. You do as well.
All right.